All right. I guess I'm live. Guess that I am live. All right, family. As you all know, that this is Tommy Sotomayor. Why am I showing Tommy Sotomayor? That's Tommy Sotomayor. He is a very notable character in the world of YouTube. And he is not the only person that we're just going to talk about here on this live. Um, there is, and I can agree, I subscribe to Tommy. I'll admit it. I subscribe to Tommy and I check him out on YouTube. All right. I check him out on his YouTube and I hear what he has to say. Now, if you look at his YouTube, you'll see what he says. Nubian cancer patient strikes back at Tommy. Right? Toys for thoughts. Uh, the DNA test proves it's not his. The BT1000 catches her husband. Right? And I suppose that BT stands for Black Thought or something. But you see, he wants to be called Mr. Controversy. He, this guy here, Hassan, Tommy was going back and forth with him. And I would want to reach out to somebody like Tommy to let him know, hey, I understand what you're doing. You're trying to make a dime, but you know, there's a totally different way you can go about doing something like this. Now, the latest is this particular guy here. He somebody named Freeman or something like that. He almost shoots himself, or he did shoot himself, which is tragic. Just tragic. And Tommy thought it was pretty funny. And for some strange reason, people in this world are going after Tommy simply because he's controversial. He's most noted for calling women bitches. He's most noted for insulting people and laughing at people and pointing out and commenting on people's poor behavior. Well, I'm not sure if this is absolutely correct, but based on this Google search here, Tommy was born in 1975. That makes him what, 42 years old? And this is what a 42-year-old man can do for people in their lives. Can poke fun and talk about people. That's it. Adds no other value for you in your life. I've called in on Tommy's show, and I've recently tried to reach out to him today. Why? Because I don't want to talk to Tommy about all of the poor behavior that he's displaying or showing out here to the world. I want to talk to Tommy about his role and his responsibility for ending white supremacy racism on this planet. Because black males, although you may agree with Tommy with some of the things that he's saying, because that's how you feel based on what it is that you see and experience. So you would agree with him just as I do agree with him. However, because there is white supremacy racism that's on this planet, and for our sake, and for our women and children's sake, it's our jobs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 366 days a year to end white supremacy racism. And no, I was not being facetious here. I know that there's 365 days, but the point is that I'm making is that we should be working tirelessly, day in and day out, attempting to end white supremacy racism. But what do we have? We have somebody who's talking at us. Oh yeah, look at this person. Oh yeah, look at that person. Look, aren't I right? Aren't I true? Isn't this true? So this is what you're hearing. And you're agreeing with him. Yeah, man, that sure sound right. And then what do you say? What does he give you? Does he give you the tools to end it? No. It's tune in on the next show. Does he tell you all of this has been orchestrated by white people and here's a plan to solve it? No. Because misery loves company. And for some strange reason, if these white boys got our women and our children out here acting like complete nuts, if this is what they are doing, why would you listen to a parasite? No, he's supposed to be giving you the tools on, hey, listen, here's how you end this white man coming into your house. Period. He's 42 years old. But yet and still, you have these men and they are talking to you as if you are still in high school. Black males, time to grow a pair. Because we got work to do. I'm not telling you to go out and harm Tommy. I wouldn't tell you to harm Boyce. I wouldn't tell you to harm Tariq or Umar. Here's what I would tell you. Stop listening to him. Just stop. Don't give them another dime. People have been listening to these people for years. Yet and still, you are still under the thumb of white people. If they are black and they are still under the system of white supremacy racism, do not vote for them. Don't give them a dime. Keep your money in your pocket. If you see a black man and he's a bum on the street, do not give him a dime. What am I saying? Stop enabling people to continue to allow you to function under a system of captivity. You are working hard for crumbs. Oh man, he's a millionaire, man. He made $1 million, man. Oh man, he got the nice house. He got everything. No, he doesn't. Until we start becoming producers again, until we start becoming something of value, until we can start protecting what it is that we have that is valuable, we will forever be under the system of white supremacy racism. And this is a natural fact. When you continue to listen to parasites day in and day out, watch the parasitic behavior, and as long as you're under the rule of white supremacy racism, these clowns will continue to make money. They are contributing to the system of white supremacy racism. We have zero natural resources. No resources on this planet do we have. Black people can't build up a community. You want to know why? Because we have no resources. We have to buy everything that we get from somebody else. So here it is. We are supporting people and we're hearing their rhetoric. At the same time, we're buying goods and services from other people. What the hell are we doing? Listening to people like Mr. Sotomayor, day in and day out. See this? Mr. Controversy. This is what we're listening to. Mr. Controversy. I don't know about you, but I'm black. When I wake up in the morning, there is controversy in my life. There's more than enough controversy besides somebody else pointing out the obvious. At 42 years old, as a black male in this country, at 42 years old, you should be able to write a business plan. But let's make something clear here, because we're not just going to pick on Tommy. Let's look up Mr. Tariq Nasheed. Here's Tariq. Yes, Tariq. 1974. He's 43 years old. This is the guy who produces Hidden Colors, the Hidden Colors series. He says he thinks it was very much needed. I think so as well. And what did black people do? Black people helped fund the movies, make some educational materials, and make some good educational reference points. But what did he do? Did he teach you how to come up out of the system of white supremacy racism? No, he did not. At 43 years old, what is he talking about? Macking and pimping and doing every goddamn thing that white people want you to do anyway. These people are not leaders. They are parasites. What is a parasite? What is a parasite, Mr. Man? Here is what a parasite is, ladies and gentlemen. It's an organism that lives in or on another organism, its host, and benefits by deriving nutrients at the host's expense. A parasite. A person who habitually relies on or exploits others and gives nothing in return. Now they can probably argue, oh, I'll give you stuff in return. Look, I give you good information. I give you good education. Oh, you do? Well, some things in Hidden Colors you know, some things you didn't. Tariq Nasheed, did you give us our own Department of Education? Did you point us to a direction of our own Department of Education? Instead of giving us movies, did you give us printing companies where we could print our own books? Did you give us our own production company to where we can produce our own productions so that black people can continue to move forward and have some sort of resource of production of something of our own. No, you did not. What did you do? You took the money. That's what you did. Took the money. Back to talking about macking and pimping and bullshit. These are the people that we are dealing with here. Parasites. So Tariq is no different than Tommy Sotomayor. Mr. Boyce Watkins. Mr. Boyce Watkins. Who is Boyce Watkins? Because I'm going to tie all of these people in here for a second. Mr. Boyce Watkins, look what he's 46 years old. Well, what does Boyce Watkins want to do? He wants to give you the black business school. Right. He wants to give you a black business school. Yourblackworld.com. Right? I think he's like one of the only black people at the University of Syracuse or something like that who has a doctorate degree in finance. So who is Boyce Watkins and what does he know? Well, go to the University of Syracuse and you get a degree in finance. That means that you understand a certain level of economics. And that means that you understand us at a certain level of how to get money. And you understand exactly what production in this is in this country. Okay, so he says that the University of Kentucky, his education is. There's a faculty member at Syracuse, which means this. He understands what's happening in America. This person here, he is not dumb, not by a long shot. Does he know what he's talking about? Sure. But what isn't Dr. Boyce Watkins telling you? What isn't he telling you? He is not telling you how to come under the thumb, how to come from underneath the thumb of white people. Here is what he's telling you. Be more subjugated. How? Black people, own your own business. You have to learn, you have to earn, start your own business. That's what he's telling you. Start your own business. And the more he tells you that rhetoric, he is also sounding exactly like Al Sharpton. Black people need more jobs. What they're not telling you is, because these people, they will all refer back to, well, you have to look at Black Wall Street. Look at when we had businesses. Look at when we were business owners. What they're not telling you is, what this man is not telling you is what you actually learn in business. In Business 101, they tell you about these things called factors of production. Okay? They tell you about factors of production. They tell you about this stuff called land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and intellectual knowledge. For people who don't know what that is, it's like you're getting a patent or something like that. You could, you know, that is what you call a factor of production. You know, inventing something from your own thought, right? That's a factor of production. And what he's not telling you is Here is the factors of production that black people don't own. No, he's not telling African American males go after factors of production. Instead, he's saying let white people produce things, you own the businesses, and you continue to buy things from them. So in essence, what he's saying is if white people are not giving you a job, go out and start your own job where now you're going to pay money directly to white people still. So buy things wholesale and sell them to black people retail. This is the shit that this man is giving you. We need to own our own businesses. Buy things retail, buy things wholesale from white people and sell it to them retail to black people. See, you have to question, why are these people still around? Why are these parasites still around and being allowed to drain money out of your pocket? We all know that black people can't even hold a line of credit, or they can't get a line of credit deep enough in order to give other black people discounts. And so, yes, black people, when other black people come into your business, they are supposed to ask for a discount. That's the reason for the word discount. These people are setting you up to continue to be slaves. They are setting you up to continue to be in captivity in this country. Boyce is one of them, and he knows it. He's attempting to educate you so that you can continue to be subjugated. So, black people, instead of getting a job, work for yourself, but continue to work for white people. It's a ladder. So you're not on the bottom rung. You're just on the second rung. And what are you doing? White people are still the vendors. So, own your own store, black people. Go on the gas station. All of the products that's coming into the store are being supplied to you by white people. And they will shut you off as soon as they decide to. So the issue here that we're having is these parasites are keeping you subjugated. It's time to end the parasites. Don't vote for them. I had an issue with the previous live. I thought I was on, but one of the things that I did bring up is this. If black people are not bringing you out or under the thumb of white supremacy, racism, well, how do we do that? Well, if they're not bringing you out, how do you know that they're bringing us out? How do we know? Well, it's just like anything, black people. It's just like anything. Where's the plan? Dr. Boyce Watkins, this man here, he can produce a business plan like that. So, Boyce, where's the economic plan for black people? Where's the plan? To my senator, my elected official, to the Barack Obamas of the world, where's the economic plan for black folk? The Congressional Black Caucus, where's the economic plan for black people? We know we're unemployed. We know we have no factories. We know we're the last people to get the contract jobs. We know this. Where is the economic plan for black people? Because I can tell you this, white people, they make sure that they have an economic plan for black people. How do you think we're so easily gentrified? It's because of parasites like them. And so for 2018, let's make Tommy, Tariq, Boyce, and Umar irrelevant. Everyone in the conscious community, irrelevant. Every one of these pastors in these churches, irrelevant. And for all of you sisters out there, well, what are you talking about? Why would we make these people irrelevant? I like him. That's the problem. You like him, but you're not like, you shouldn't like what he's not doing for you. Take a look around. The reason why, sisters, you don't have everything that you have, and the reason why you're not as secure as you should be, why you don't feel secure, why your children are not respected, and why you cannot respect a black male, why you can't, is because look around. Really, in your house, what product has that black man produced? The drywall, the wood, smoke detectors, the doors. How about your clothes? Black people don't even produce your clothes. So don't get it twisted. Sean John, and whoever else, whatever else black clothing designer, don't think for a half a second that their names is just on the clothes. That's it. That's all. Their names is just on the clothes. The people who actually own the garments, the people who actually bring the shit to life, that you only use a tool called money for, to purchase, it's owned by white people. The reason why a lot of you sisters don't respect your black males, you want to know why? When you turn on the light, you already know that the black man did not produce it. You already know it. When you're using the water, taking a nice hot bubble bath, you already know a black man did not produce it. He did not bring it to you. He did not put on that show for you. You already know that a black man is powerless. Yet and still he said, well, call me daddy. And when y'all sisters say, yeah, right, daddy, yeah, right. No, you know what that means. Black males were not producing anything on the automobiles, yet and still we buy all of them. I know y'all like, well, preach, and we're not going to listen to him preach. Listen, you don't have to. It's exactly what's happening here. Once we get rid of the parasites, we can get to actual work. Sisters, we can't get to actual work if you guys keep supporting the parasites. We can't get rid of the prisons if you guys keep supporting the boys doing the wrong things that's going to send them to prison. So what do we need you to do? Grab the boys by the ears, sit them down and tell them stop being so emotional about the things that they read on Facebook. We need a timeout. We need a break so we can regroup, so we can actually get back on track. The first thing that has to happen is that other males have to get rid of the parasites. There are males that's out here that is sick and tired of listening to these 40-year-olds whine and complain. This brings me to the next point. You have somebody out here by the name of Dr. Umar Johnson. There you go. You'll see him. Here he is, right here. Looks like a good guy, right? I believe he's another 70s baby, right? Let's see what they give us about. Yeah, he's from Philly. We do know that. But I believe that he was born in the 1970s as well. Let's see. All right, let's see. Sorry about that for typing in. All right. I believe he was born in 1974. Okay. So if he's born in 1974, here it is again, another 70s baby, another parasite. And why am I saying that they've been parasitic? Why am I saying this? Is because they know exactly what to do. They're not doing it. They know who the cause of the problem is. They're not going after him. When I see a white male, I already know I'm in competition with this white man. I already see him. I already know. The issue is they're not going after white men. When a black man needs some money, he's not supposed to go to a woman and ask her for money. Unless it's your husband and it's a family thing, all right? And even still, if he needs money, there is a bank. Dillinger had the same issue. He said, listen, I need some money. What did Dillinger do? He went to the bank. End of story. These black men, they need money. What do they want? We need to raise some money. I need Umar Johnson. I'm going to raise some money so I could build a school for black boys. And just like women, you want to hop in line because you want to be supportive. These are things that has been brought down from slavery. Umar Johnson never showed no type of business plan, and he never gave you a plan. That's simply because he knows, as a clinical psychologist, as a child psychologist, whatever his degree is in, Umar Johnson knows that it takes more than $500,000 to start a school. That's why he never showed you a plan. As a matter of fact, Umar Johnson was friends with Boyce Watkins, who could have wrote a business plan for a school. Umar Johnson could have got money from Tariq Nasheed because he was in Hidden Colors. He could have said, hey, turn me on to that so I can build this school for these boys. Tariq Nasheed knows Tommy Sotomayor. He knows him. I think they was on Vlad TV or something and had some sort of interaction or something like that. So he knows how to get in contact with Tommy. He could have said, hey, listen, man, Umar Johnson is he's trying to raise money for this school. Why don't we go around and how about we start raising money from white people or going out to white people so that we can get some money for these schools, so for these black boys. Did these people work together? No. Umar Johnson Boyce Watkins knows Louis Farrakhan. He knows Farrakhan. Do you think Boyce Watkins said, hey, listen, let's support Dr. Johnson over here and persuade that man to have a Nation of Islam get behind him? No. Because what did Farrakhan do? 2 times, supposedly. He's supposed to have 1 million black men in Washington, D.C., Farrakhan. parasite. Farrakhan, 2 times in DC. Whatever came of that? I can tell you what came of it. You had black people in DC. They're spending money. They're renting hotel rooms. They're eating. They're lodging. And nothing came of it. Parasites. Women been going to these churches for 10 years, and they're not even millionaires. And you've been hanging out at a church for 10 years, 20 years. Baby, Jesus can save you at home. Wherever you are, he can save you. The issue here is that you're sitting in the pastor's church for 10 years and you are not a millionaire yet. It's not your fault that you're not a millionaire. The issue is with the pastor thinking that you're a sheep in his flock. Newsflash, sisters, you are not an animal. You're not a bitch. You're not a hoe. You're not stupid. You women are very capable. There are things that are happening to you guys out in the street here, and you guys don't even realize it is an epidemic the way that you see each other out here fighting in the street. You see this? That's called an epidemic. Anytime something happens in New York, and the same thing happens in LA, same thing happens in Chicago, and it happens in Louisiana, that means that it's happening in the 4 corners of this country. That's called an epidemic. There is a reason for that. The reason is we don't have enough resources in order to have our own facilities, in order to take care of ourselves. So, at the end of 2017, we want to put an end to these parasites. In 2018, we want to go on a full extermination of all of these parasites. No more black males in so-called leadership positions. Not even me. Because I have not earned it. They have not earned it. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Barack Obama have not earned it. And just because we can do some things out here in mainstream America, that does not mean that we have actually earned it. Steve Harvey has not earned it. D.L. Hughley has not earned it. And none of these people that's coming from outside of this country, from South Africa, Australia, any place else on this earth, just because he can dribble a basketball or tell a joke, he has not earned the right to be called a leader. You know who was a leader? Malcolm X was a leader. You know who else was a leader? Martin Luther King was a leader. You know who else was a leader? Marcus Garvey was a leader. You want to know who else was a leader? Frederick Douglass was a leader. You want to know why these men were leaders? George Washington Carver, a leader. You want to know why? Because they went toe to toe with white boys. That's why. That's why we have the things that we have. Because these men were leaders. These people here are parasites. And I'm not talking about these guys. These guys that's out here standing on the corner. Hey, you know what, white man? You're going to burn in hell. Listen, what do you call these people? These religious boys. That's not going toe to toe with white people either. telling them they're going to burn in hell. You read in a book that they wrote for themselves, and then going to try to tell them where they're going to wind up. This is the foolishness. There's 5 basic things that all of our people need here in this country. You need a roof over your head, running water, electricity, food, and heat. Your clothes is going to come naturally, obviously. But those are your basic necessities. And what's happening is black males and women, wait, let's chill this out here for a half a second. Because you guys are watching too much TV and you boys are actually falling into the trap of thinking that money is a resource. It's not. Money is a tool that has been created from resources. Say this again. Money is a tool that has been created from resources. If you don't believe me, look it up. Paper and ink, right? Paper is made from trees, primarily from wood pulp. The currency paper is made specifically for the business of engraving and printing, and composed of 75% cotton and 25% linen. These are resources, natural resources. Money is the tool that we use to buy things. It is not the resource. So black people, time to shit or get off the pot. Either we're going to be content with playing games, or we're going to be more proactive people moving in the areas of production in order for us to be able to survive here on this planet. We have to end the parasitic behavior in our own communities. We should care less if Tommy, Tariq, Boyce, and Umar can pay their bills. Because I can tell you this, they can care less about you paying yours. Now, how can I make that statement? Because if they really cared, they would be directing you directly toward how to end white supremacy racism. Every time you listen to them, they would be telling you, here is how we solve this problem together. They would say, okay, people, here's the plan. But they're not, because they're scared. Yes, that's right. They are scared. So much so, there was recently just an incident involving Tariq, Boyce, and Umar. So because they're not going to fight white boys, they're going to fight each other. We're going to go toe-to-toe, and we're going to fight each other in the ring. This is what they're going to do. So now, after wasting your time, taking your money, they want to fight each other because they know at the end of the day, they have to shit or get off the pot. They want to start talking about how we're not going to support each other. So now they're just going to break off into their little factions. Oh, they're not black people. Typical. We want to see who's going to win. It's bullshit. Let's see who's going to win if Boyce Watkins go out and attempt to go fight Warren Buffett. Let's see who's going to win that fight. Boyce Watkins in a boxing ring, he might give Warren Buffett the business. But Warren Buffett is going to go back. He's going to lay on his pile of money. Or better yet, he can go home. Hey, you know, I just bought Encore. Yeah, what's Boyce Watkins' address? Yeah, turn them lights off. Who is really winning here? See, a white boy understands what winning really is, what competition really is. We've been conditioned that playing sports is a competition. It is not. It is a game. It is not a competition. You can argue. It's a competitive game. So what? It's still a game nonetheless. Black males need to stop playing games. Turn off the video game. Turn off the video game. Turn off the sports game. Turn it all off. And let's start getting into some real competition. How about this, black folk? How about you throw up a gate around that black community of yours and you call that a gated community and see what's going to happen? Black people, it's time for us to stop getting bossed around. We are sitting back and listen, they call us minorities for a reason. We're so stupid to think that it means that we are minorities in number. That's not what that means. It means minor. It means child. That's what they're talking about. So when you hear good white friends and they're talking about, oh yeah, well, you know, it's minorities. Yeah, they're calling you a child. All of the other socioeconomic issues that we are having, we don't need people like Tommy to support to report the news. You can see it. We don't need him to tell us how bad our black women are doing. You know what we actually need Tommy to do? Create a plan that's going to give us a system on how we can solve the problem. Not giving us that. But yet and still we got an intellectual sister by the name of Dr. Joy. You would think that Tommy would be singing her praises every single time he has a show. He's not doing it. Tariq Nasheed is an opportunist. As a matter of fact, all these guys are opportunists. All of them, opportunists. They are opportunists. And we need to stop now. Tariq versus Umar. This is how we white people supposed to bring in a year. Tariq versus Umar. So now what is it? East Coast versus West Coast? All over again? And this is what we're supposed to be doing. Right here. It's BS. All of these people are parasites. When you see your elected official, don't give him the time of day. In fact, black people, don't vote. Until white supremacy racism has ended on this planet, don't vote. You're only supporting the system. You're only supporting it. So what are we going to do with this site here, with this YouTube here? What are we going to do? Well, on this show, hopefully you guys tune in. And what we'll start doing is we'll start coming up with creative solutions. And I want to hear your thoughts. Because we need creative solutions. But I've went an entire year and I have listened to Parasites and I have seen how these people try to drag money out of your pockets. Out of your pockets. They're just trying to, just day in and day out, donate to me, donate to me, donate to this, donate to that. I've seen Tariq since Hidden Colors, the first one. Donate some money, donate some money. And Dr. Boyce Watkins in there. Hey, we got the Black Business School, and hey, let me show you how to continue to be under the white man's thumb. Let me help you some more. And Umar Johnson, listen, you got the kids and the boys, but I need the money for the school. And he actually took your money, knowing as a principal how much it costs to operate a school. It's not as if he never seen an operating budget before. The issue is that they do not have black males who can come out and who could actually say, I see you, I see through your bullshit. And these games is over. Black people, stop participating. Because these people are working on behalf of white people. That's who they're working for. So in 5 years, here's what you got. Here's the direct result of what we have in our hands. Nothing. Nothing. In 5 years. Some of y'all been going to these churches, your pastors are millionaires, and you're not. You get nothing. He said, well, he's just all about the materials. He's all about the materials. Listen, we live on this planet where there are materials. Our people need help. And the only ones who's going to help us is ourselves. I know we've been victimized. I've been there. Hell, I'm still here. But in order for us to stop being victims, we have to stop allowing victimization to spread. Because unfortunately, this stuff here is like cancer. And it's spreading like a poison. So we need agendas and we need events and we need plans and we need things. And what we don't need anymore is to listen to these people talk loud and say nothing. This show, we're going to be providing solutions. And we're actually going to be doing something measurable, tangible, right where you are. All over this country. You hear people, well, I'm the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Well, I tell you what, while you thinking about going, hey, and these people actually be going to Africa. This is the sad part. They actually go to Africa. And they see Africa. And you know what they say? White man got a stronghold over in Africa just like he do in America. But this is our home. This is where we live. The reason why we have nothing is because we're not doing nothing. It's because we keep listening. First of all, check the birth date. Anytime you got somebody talking about let me get your attention, let me get your time. Check to see if he was born before 1976 before you give him any of your time. Just take the time. Because these people here are highly emotional. Highly emotional. Like girls. They're so emotional. I mean, they sound just like high school girls. Do not listen to the Steve Harveys of the world, the D.L. Hugleys of the world. Don't listen to those people. I can tell you this. This is the issue that we're having in this country. There's not one black man who can go down to a jail and go get another black man out of prison. And before you stop and say, well, Jay-Z bonded a lot of people out of prison, that's a bond. I'm talking about literally go get him out of prison. And the last person that stopped a bunch of people from going to prison was with the Gina 6 boys. That was the last person. And what did he do? He rallied all of the other black males around him. Let me get the name of that show host. Because he was on the radio. He's not anymore. Let me see. Michael Baisden. Michael Baisden was his name. And when you see Michael Baisden, he organized a bunch of black males to get together and rally everybody around to get the Gen 6 boys out of jail. These people are not caring about your children. Women, if you care about your children, what are these men doing? Really? Have these men actually built a boys and girls club in your neighborhood that they organized and built up a boys and girls club or some sort of recreational center or something in the neighborhood, and they actually say, we pay for it, we finance it, we built these things with our materials, and these lights here, these are our lights. Have they done that? No. No, they haven't. Here's what they've been doing. They've been writing songs, getting you to party, getting you to drink, getting you to do everything stupid besides actually taking care of business. Under the guise, oh yeah, he owned his own company. Well, what did he do? He worked for another white man. That's what he do. Let me ask you a question, lady. When you're in a house and you turn on these things called lights, who bring those lights into the house? Who does that? So, you guys, I know I've been rambling probably for an hour or so. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make these chats about an hour or so because you guys don't really need to hear me preach. What we have to do is we have to come up with solutions together. And those solutions we're going to have to put in work. And in order for us to be working at doing what it is that we need to do, we have to be doing it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And there's a way that we can do it, and there's a way that we can get it done. Because there's a way that we can actually finance our future. But the issue is this. We have to stop listening to these old men with these dumbass ideas grandiose ideas about how they are going to feed their families. We have to stop it. For the fellas, I have another site, another page. It's called Priority First. What we're going to do over there is we're actually going to be talking about how we are going to become and the rules for making ourselves the first priority. Because, ladies, this is nothing against you guys, but we have to make ourselves the first priority. Because so far, our priorities have been given to ladies and families and other groups of people, instead of us paying attention to ourselves and doing what's best for ourselves. First. And so as we do what's best for ourselves, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to move forward with you guys. But that's going to be in the future. Right now, ladies, we don't even have our heads in the game. This white boy literally is kicking our behinds up and down the street. Ladies, these white boys actually are out in the street killing our children. And guess what's happening? Nothing. These Negroes is marching. Well, just by march, they can shoot us down, but I'm going to march for you, baby. I'm going to put these shoes on that I buy, that I pay for, that I use his money to buy his shoes, and I'm going to march up and down the street. And I know a lot of you sisters is looking at these men like, you ain't got no nuts. So I didn't want to make this. I didn't want to make this my first live. I don't even know if I'm really on live. I don't really know, but I can tell you this. This is the 31st of December. In a few hours, this day is going to be gone. And hopefully everyone who hears this makes a New Year's resolution to exterminate the parasites that has been bleeding us dry and giving us absolutely nothing but lip service. You get nothing. Steve Harvey gives you laughs. D.L. Hughley gives you laughs. Tommy Sotomayor comes to give you some laughs. Boyce Watkins is going to give you a bit of education. Tariq Nasheed is going to give you a bit of education. And Dr. Umar Johnson, he's only going to give you a little bit of, we're going to help you with these boys here. That's it. That's all. And you sisters need to keep telling these brothers, it's not enough. Do more. Go after that white boy. What are you scared of? What are you so afraid of you won't speak against that white boy? What are you so afraid of that you won't get out there and get in his business? These white boys, they done built buildings downtown all over the place, and everybody is just stepping back and shock and awe. Black man said, well, I'm going to buy a house. White man said, well, I'm going to tell you how much you're going to pay in taxes for that house. See the difference? Black man say, oh, the roof is coming off the house. Let me call some roofers. White man may answer the phone, Mexicans may answer the phone. But I tell you this, white man driving by, guess what we do for a living? What? We make shingles. See, it's black men who got us in the position of consuming. So, ladies, we have to become the first priority so that we can look at our own behavior so we can change it. These people, like Tommy, Umar, Tariq, and Boyce, is getting money to pay white men, period. They fly on white man's airplanes. They put on the white man's clothes. They use his systems, just like I do. The difference, I'm not going to occupy your life. I am not going to occupy your lives with the shit that they are occupying your lives with. Because we have zero liberty in this country. So fellas, over at Priority First, what we're going to be doing is from the ground up, creating black males the way we see black males in order to do the things we need to do for our families. So ladies, if you guys want, you guys can support black males doing what we need to do in order for us to be the best at what we need to be the best at so that we can support you. So in the morning, ladies, wake up. When you wake up next to your man, tell him, get out the bed and go kick that white boy's ass. Tell him just like that. You are better than he is, and you are not going to be under his thumb much longer. In 24 hours a day, the only thing black people should be doing is fighting against injustice and fighting to get rid of white supremacy racism. Do I love Tommy? Yeah, I love Tommy. I love Boyce. I love Tariq and Umar, my brothers. But I am not condoning their parasitic behavior. Not going to do it. Don't you do it. Don't you enable them to be parasites. And the other parasites, you know them, you see them. Next Sunday, them collection plates should be dry. No matter where you are. If you are at the Nation of Islam and you are not a multimillionaire yet, you are doing something wrong over there. By now, if everybody at the Nation of Islam do not own natural resources, something's definitely wrong over in those buildings. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they didn't ask for anything. They lived off the support of the people because they was doing work for the people. These people are not doing work for you at all. Boyce's products. Because the same financial literacy information you get from him, you just get online, just Google it. Don't buy anything from him. You want to know why? Because you are still purchasing things from white people. You're still doing it. So I'm not hating on Boyce. I'm being truthful. You are purchasing the same things right from white people. When you brought Hidden Colors, you just helped enrich white people. Umar Johnson, he opens up a school, he's going to buy products and goods and services right from white people. So who are these people fooling? And I am not going to smile in their face and say, oh, yeah, brother, yeah, you know, you're my brother, man. I know you're trying to support your family, man. No. That we are supposed to go out and support our families, and that's not by groveling and taking crumbs out of a white man's hand. That's crap. That's how we start eating chitlins. And before y'all people out there, oh, I like chitlins, come on now. That's how we started with the poor diets. And these are just poor black male diets that we're feeding to sisters. Period. It's the bottom line. Now prove me wrong. Tell Tommy, tell Tariq, tell Boyce, tell Umar to call me. Tell them to email me. Tell them to reach out to me. Get my information for free. And I won't ask you people out there for a dime. You want to know why? I don't need your money. Only thing I need for you to do, sisters, close your pocketbooks. Close them up. Let them ratings go down. Because they know what they're doing is wrong. It's just like a white person when a white person is asking, what can I do to help stop white supremacy, racism? What can I do? They're trying to act as if they don't know what they're doing. It's an act. Because these people are selfish. They only care about themselves. They only caring about their children, their lives, their problems. And they are selling you something. And the fact of the matter is that there's a way for every black person to have. You got to understand something. You must understand this. You must understand the numbers here. Turn off the TV. Don't watch no more basketball. Don't watch no more football. Turn it off. Why? There's only 45 to 60 million black people in this country. Which means this. If each one of us had $1 million, which only takes 45 to 60 million dollars, that would end the poverty question in America for black people. The fact of the matter is that these people here are helping support, helping you continue to put the money back in the hands of white people. They're not telling you the truth because they are parasites. Me, I could be a huge parasite. I can have a lot of goods and services that I can sell every last one of you black people, and guess what? I too can become a billionaire. But that won't solve my problem, your problem, and that will not help our future. I do not want my son to be 60 years old, 40 years old, having the same conversation that we're having today. No, Tommy, he can make he can make fun. Tommy can make fun. Tariq can make fun. They can be degrading. They can be all emotional. Let's get rid of the parasites. Let's start the extermination process 2018. How do we do it? Keep your dollars in your pockets and do not give any ratings. The Steve Harveys of the world, don't give him no ratings. He's funny. He is funny. Tommy's funny. Let's stop going to the clubs. Let's stop with all the celebrating black people. What do we have to celebrate? We celebrating. What do we have to celebrate? I tell you this. How about all black people? How about we make a pact that when white supremacy racism is over, then we celebrate. That may be too much for you right now, but we'll work it out. I know that's a bit much, but that's when we're supposed to be celebrating, when we are victorious. What have we claimed the victory over? There are progressive steps that us black males are going to be doing. And fellas, I'll meet you over at Priority First. You'll be able to catch up with me there. It seems as if we're going to be doing an everyday live stream. So I didn't want to end the year on this note. I wanted to end it on an up note. And let this be the up note. This is the end of the Parasites. 2018, we're going to exterminate every single black parasite. We don't need any more leaders because we are all leaders. So we don't need any more because these people definitely don't know how to be leaders. They don't even know how to be men. Because a male doesn't need to take time out of his life to ridicule a female. A male knows how to settle his differences with another male without fighting. See, these people are uncivilized people because they hadn't been brought to civilization. They are a monstrosity. They are a monstrosity. Just like me, I'm a monstrosity as well. I'm a person who's out of sync. But we can't be brought back into sync as we continue to listen to these parasites who just out here trying to acquire some money. Do I fault them? No. But I don't have to feed the beast either. On that note, y'all, I love y'all. Stay tuned, subscribe, share, do everything that you got to do. But I'll be talking to y'all tomorrow.